Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new around here, I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Ruth.
And today we are going to be doing the Heart to Heart collaboration with a whole bunch of people. It's a big group and we are so excited to be doing this challenge. Well, not challenge, a tag. And it's for Valentine's Day. We've got families, couples all together and we're all sharing the love. So make sure you go down and check out the other videos. This video was initiated by the Griffins, and if you haven't already subscribed to their channel, make sure you go do that. They're an absolutely fantastic family and we love them. They've been very supportive of us, haven't they?
Yeah, really supportive.
There's going to be, Meet the Lees, we've got the Flex fam, we have got the Eminem family, yes. We've got the Mumford Mub. I can't believe I forgot to say. So there's lots of people there and, they've been showing us love and we want to make sure we show them love as well. Also, we forget all the time to ask you to like, comment and subscribe and all that stuff. So if you're here now, we're probably going to forget to do it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom before you go any further. We've got 14 questions, obviously, because of
Valentine's Day.
And we've got our greatest creation on the 14th.
Jeez!
So the best Valentine's Day creation that you could make over there. Stick with us to the end and make sure you go check out the other videos as well.
Let's do this. Baby girl's got the questions. So Saffron's going to ask us the questions and then we're going to answer.
Yes.
I should have got my bifocals. How long have you been together?
Controversy. No. We've been together 26.
Yep, December the 11th.
December
2021 was 26 years.
26 years. So, and we've been married for 13 of those years. Yes.
How did you meet?
Oh.
Well, can I say this one?
You can say this one.
Because I was straight and to the point.
Go.
I saw this baddie in the dinner hall at school. My guy was running from the football pitch to go get his lunch. He was late. I said, who's that? I said to my friend, I'm going to marry him. My friend said, you don't even know his name. So I made it my mission over the next few weeks and months to find out his name, find out his tutor, like his homeroom teacher. I found out where all his lessons were going to be, so I strategically placed myself outside of all of his lessons. So then he kept seeing me, and then we started to talk, and then boom, shook my shot.
And I caught it 26 years later.
So essentially we met in school at 14 and I stalked him until he was just backed into a corner.
Until I gave up.
And here we are.
When was your first date?
Oh, I'll take this one. It was in Beckenham Cinema, and we went to see the most amazing movie in the world. It wasn't. It was horrible.
What did we say?
We went to see Sliding Doors.
Oh, yes, okay.
We'd seen this advertised around and we thought, yeah, that's going to be romantic. Let's go see. I can't even remember Sliding Doors.
I just remember, was there a bit where she jumped on the train?
She jumped on a train.
Yeah.
Essentially, she jumps on a train and then there's like a butterfly effect where there's another alternate reality where she doesn't jump on the train and then, but I can't remember anything else.
Fine.
We should watch it.
We should.
We're going to watch it and then we'll report back to you on what we think now of Sliding Doors.
What is the most memorable moment from when you first started dating?
I got a few. One, it's kind of outside of the dating period. Like it was probably like the week before we got together, but we were having a snow fight at school. And that's when I knew, like, obviously he's very attractive. So I was like, ooh, I need to get me some of that. But this is when I knew, like, I knew more about his personality and that he had a heart. So we were playing snow fights and somebody threw a snowball and it hit me in my jaw. And the way why is she laughing? And it's it. And when you go and you bite your teeth down, my head shook, I had a headache. And how he reacted and then how he looked after me and then his reaction to the person that did it, I was like, okay, not only is he very attractive, he's a nice guy. That's one of the things I remember from when we first got together.
I used to walk behind Ruth with my arms around her neck and that was our daily walk every single day. The whole way up to
Gypsy Hill.
Gypsy Hill to her
That
house.
hill was not easy either.
Walk We'll insert a picture. We inserted a picture in the last video of us, and that's how we used to walk. Where you see us in that picture, we used to be there every single day without fail after school. So I'll go to Ruth's house, and then we'll sit down, we'll talk, we'll watch movies, and then after that we'll go and stand in the back garden for like 3 hours.
And then my mum will be like, Ruth, it's time to come in now. He's got to go home. And he had like a 40. This guy is too much. He had like a 45-minute bus ride home, and would stay at my house till late. Then he would stay at my house till late, go. Then in the morning, come and collect me to take me to school. Imagine.
I'll be back.
Imagine.
Who said I love you first?
Him.
Go on, all right.
I remember exactly where I was.
Explain.
So when we got together was the 11th of December, and then I got sick, remember? And I was off school for like, from the 11th of December basically till the school Christmas holidays.
She was trying to avoid me.
I was sick. I remember I had to sleep in the living room. I was not well. My mum was worried. And it was around Christmas time, and then you went to the phone box, the phone box outside the old library in Peckham. I remember it outside Katie's, and you were in the phone box in the library.
Insert picture.
calling my house phone, and I was sitting on the floor, and then the Christmas tree, I don't know why, but my mum used to put our Christmas tree, our 6-foot Christmas tree, on a table to make it even taller. I don't know why. And I was sitting there on the house phone, and then my mum's chair was there, and the Christmas tree was here, and we were talking, and then his money was running out in the phone box, and then he was like, I love you, and I was like, my mum is there, and I'm 14 years old, but I love him, so I want to say it back. So I was like, I love you too. I love you too. But I tried to say it quiet, but my mum obviously heard. That's how I remember that you said it before me, because I wouldn't have said it over the phone, I would have said it to your face, and I wouldn't have said it in front of my mum.
When was the moment you knew that you were in love?
When I first saw him.
Yeah. It was, you know, they say that love at first sight type of thing. It was one of those.
And I know a lot of people don't believe into that, but as soon as I saw you, it sounds so cheesy and so stupid to say, but it's like there was something magical. I was just like, I'm going to marry. How can I just look at someone and say I'm going to marry him? There's 100 boys in the school.
It might have been the glow of the yellow stairs.
Blue stairs.
And it might be because I used to play football with my shirt off.
It was the sports pheromone, isn't it? But he's gonna make some good babies.
It was love at first sight.
Was it love at first sight for you?
It was.
Was it?
I didn't. But the thing is, to be fair, I didn't notice Ruth because I wasn't like that. I was the sports guy, but I was also kind of a geek. No girls really paid me attention, so I never thought that, you know, a baddie like this would think anything of me. Saffron, can you stop laughing? When I saw her, I was like, oh my God, like, wow. And then when I found out you were interested in me, I was like, okay, well, you're coming along.
What is your definition of love?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a really, really tough one, because I think for me it changes it just changes.
Yeah.
Based on like what I need. So I suppose in a way to sum it up is you're always what I need when I need it, and that for me is love. Does that make sense? So it's like sometimes I will need to feel like when we were pregnant at 17, I needed to feel protected, and I needed to feel like someone had a plan, and I needed to feel like someone was in charge, and that it was going to be okay. And then you were that, and you held me, and I felt safe, if that makes sense. And then there's like now probably less so. I don't need to feel protected now. I need like to learn stuff now, and to be taught things in a specific, like everything that I need at each stage. You're that for me is what love is. Is that you're so in tune with what I need when I need it, and you have so much depth to who you are and your character that you're able to adjust to meet my needs. Does that make sense?
You've kind of stolen my answer, really. Love is, people say, oh, you can't live with that person. No. I think love is, you can live with that person, but you choose not to. You choose to be around that person.
Oh, you can't live without that person?
No, because people say, oh, I can't live without them.
Yeah, okay, sorry. No, you said you can't live with them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're saying you can't live without them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. That people are saying love is I couldn't possibly live without
them. Yes.
That's what people say, but you're saying love is, I could live without them, but I choose not
But
to.
I choose not to.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I get what you
exactly
mean.
it. You know, it's the choice of being within that person and seeing yourself reflected in that person, and when you feel a certain way, that person reflects it back to you, and then you I guess you kind of see the error in your ways, and then you have an opportunity to fix whatever that thing is because that person is reflecting it back to you.
Aww. Can do that.
Awkward.
Someone's like cringe.
What are your favourite qualities about each other?
It's too many to list.
Can I go
Name
first?
three.
Then?
You can go first. I can steal our answers.
One of it, my top favorite quality actually is that you're so intelligent. Like you're so smart. Do you know what I mean? You know, like when people say like, I don't know, like don't go for the looks in somebody. Don't go for that person's eyes because sometimes those eyes are gonna get old. Those eyes are gonna get tired. Those eyes are gonna get baggy after you have kids. Like. For me, the thing that I find most sexy and your top quality is that you're so smart. I can always learn. Does that make sense?
It's a family channel.
Yeah, then I went off script. Is that you're just smart and you're intelligent and I love it. We can go back and forth. If we've got to do three, we'll do one each. One.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to do three, but my favorite, I guess, when we got together, one of the things that Ruth said was she didn't want children, but
sorry.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh,
I didn't know I was gonna get
news.
if I knew that.
No, not in a bad way, but no, she didn't say I don't want children. She said I don't see myself having children, but she has created such an amazing family, an amazing home, and two amazing kids who reflect us and themselves, and they're completely individual and they do their own thing, and that I guess that your ability to see individual people's needs and strengths and I guess weaknesses and support them to build on that. That's I think that's your greatest quality.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you know, I be thinking sometimes.
You be thinking.
I be intelligent, you know.
You be intelligent.
I be intelligent.
Who is more organised?
Me. 100%.
Yeah. I'm organised, but
Organised
in my
chaos.
own way.
Organised.
We can't all be organised.
Your skills lie elsewhere.
It'll be chaos. Yeah, sorry.
Stop with the looks.
Sorry.
If your home was on fire and everyone was out, what item would your partner go and get back to try and save?
So the kids and the cats are out.
Yeah, everyone's out, but what would you go back for? What would your partner go back for to try and save? So what would she go back to save and what would he go back to save?
Ooh, that's such a good question.
That is a good question.
I know.
I can't see Ruth going back for anything because everything that she needs has already left the house.
100% on
Yeah.
the nose. 100%. If my kids and you are fine, I'm set.
Then
I'm cool.
that's it. We're good.
I'm not a value. I'm not a things thing.
Materials, yeah.
The only thing, 100. I think you're 99.9% right. I think the only thing would be, I'm assuming that I've also grabbed my phone because there's pictures of my mum in there.
Yeah.
So all my photo albums of my mum, who passed away 13 years ago, would be gone. So that might be the only thing I would go back for. Maybe.
And I would grab her at that point and say, "Don't go back because I've backed it all up to the cloud."
Have you?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Oh, well,
we're
in that
nearly
case,
there.
I ain't going back anywhere.
We are nearly there. I've been backing it up in the night.
I've been backing up in the night. Hey,
Can you
shush.
stop? Yeah, so So you'll be safe outside. You don't need to come back inside. What about me? What would I go back for?
I don't think you'd go back for anything either. Because it wouldn't be worth putting your life at risk for something if us lot are out. Intelligent.
Next one, please.
If you could go back when you first started dating, what advice would you give yourself, if any?
I know what mine would be.
Go.
Like, don't be so clingy.
Okay.
Be like that now.
This is not a roast roost session. Maybe not. Like, I feel like in the beginning I was quite like, I don't know if clingy is the right word. Like more possessive. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't have done that because I think. And you don't play games in relationships, right? But I think how you start your relationship is kind of how it goes, right? And I think that I showed early on that I loved you more than you loved me. And I think that sets the tone for a relationship early on. And I probably wouldn't have done that so early on. I would have, kept you on your toes a bit. But I think I gave my all. I saw you and then I said, here's everything. I probably would have held a little bit back. But I was 14, do you know what I mean?
Well, she thinks she loves me more than I love her.
100%
but,
I do.
Yeah, she says 100%, but we've done some tests and it came out that I do. So for me, I would say speak up more. I'm very quiet, so I tend to think things through, and a lot of the times I will miss opportunities to say certain things or to say things, and it will come out maybe way later on. But
not come out.
Or not come out, because I've dealt with it and it's okay, it's fine, I'm good. But I would tell myself to speak up more. And that's only though if we would end up where we are now. Because if you offer yourself advice when you were dating and you start doing those things, it could change the path of where you end up.
That's true. And I think early on that worked because I'm the youngest of 5 and he's the oldest of 4. So I think you having those traits and me having those traits meant that it worked. I think that if you spoke up more, like I look at like your brother's personality, if I dated somebody with your brother's personality, we'll just beef. The whole time it will be arm's house in your mum's house. Do you know what I mean? We'll fight every day, all day, every day for no reason, beef. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if you did speak up, we probably wouldn't be where we are now because I was bossy and you were, chilled and relaxed and like whatever.
Yeah.
So if it means that we would end up here though, like you said,
then go for it. What advice would you give me?
What, that back then?
Yeah. So if you go back, you say, I'm Ruth from the future.
I would probably say give me some of your worries that you had back then. You had a lot going on at 14, 15, 16. So it would have been more of a give me some of your worries. Because I was carefree and you was like, you had a lot going on and I was just like here like, nah. And I feel like if I could have taken on some of your worries, it would have made it easier for you, but also it would have meant that I probably wouldn't have been like so demanding because you had so much going on. And then I'm carefree, so I'm also being like, I want this, I want that, let's do this, let's do that, without thinking of the wider context. So it would have been more of a, if you gave me some of your worries, then I could have helped you a bit more.
Okay, that's good.
What would you tell me?
I'd probably say slow down a bit.
Slow down,
Yeah.
I just want to get to know you.
Enjoy the moment where you are for a little while.
Yeah.
I can't remember what film that was. I think it's Jerry Maguire where he gets hit and then he's laying there flat and then everybody's worried, they come running and then he's like, no, just leave me here for a bit, let me enjoy the moment.
What's your idea of a healthy relationship?
And I've gone first on most of them, go on over to you.
I guess the simplest thing to say is communication, but it's not just, it's about don't try to one up your partner. You're in this together. It's like I always look at a relationship like you're in a boat, and if you are both facing the same direction, you are both rowing the same direction, you would go far. You could be in the same boat, one person's on one end, the other person's on the opposite end, and you are both rowing and you're pulling as far, as everybody's giving it their all, but you're going nowhere because you're both pulling against each other.
I love that.
So that's how I look at it. I think I lost my train of thought.
But I suppose working as a team,
Yes.
that teamwork, that communication, because to be in the boat, go in the same direction,
Yeah.
you have to be rowing at the same time and talking to each other
Yes.
and letting one person take a break while the other one keeps going.
That's
and then
That's exactly it. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with those. And I think in addition to those would just be, we genuinely let each other be the person organically that we are. Like there's things that drive him crazy, I'm sure, about me, and vice versa, but we never try and change the other person. Does that make sense? Like, you should be like this, or I need you to be like it. If I bend and change how I am, it's because I see that's what he needs, and I choose to do that. He doesn't tell me to do that, and vice versa. So it's that whole, we accept each other exactly how we are, and we manage to adapt off our own back to meet the other person's need.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question though.
Preach.
What shape?
She wants a new phone. She can't give it to Nala to suck this time. So.
What is your ultimate goal as a couple?
I've got two.
Yeah.
Two come straight to my head. Go on.
I don't want for much. It's just to be happy. To be happy in the relationship, to be happy in yourself, and to be happy in each other, to be happy with the children. I just want peace.
Yeah.
Peace and happiness. And tranquility.
Oh.
All of that. So.
And you married me, and you want peace and tranquility.
She was peaceful up until.
I think two things initially came to mind, and one was practical and one was emotional.
Yeah.
The practical one was for us to continue to work together to ensure that our children are financially stable when we pass. Like that for me is a massive goal, is that we want to break cycles, and we want these guys to be set, that they're starting at a good position, and anything they build is on top, but there's strong foundations already built for them. So that was kind of like the practical stuff. And then the emotional one is, as soon as you asked that question, the first thing I thought about was you sitting on a front porch, an old man with grey hair and a grey beard, on a rocking chair.
Not very long to go.
Yeah, 2 more years. Sitting on a rocking chair on a front porch, with all your grandbabies, telling them this stuff. Oh, I met RJ in school. She was a looker, she was. I don't know why as an old man you're going to have that accent and that voice. But
nobody's going to call her RJ.
my grandchildren are going to call me RJ.
No one is going to call her RJ.
Last question.
Ooh, make it a good one.
What advice would you give other couples for a healthy relationship?
Before we answer the questions, go and press that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 and then 1K, but small goals, small steps. Comment down below. What advice would you give to other couples? Okay, let's
Got
go.
it?
I've got it. All right. Your relationship is between two people. That's it. Nobody else. Your relationship, it's between you and the consenting adults that are within that, and nobody else. So whatever problems you have, once you start taking it outside of that unity, that union, it tends to start getting messy, because you move on as a couple, but other people don't.
Yeah.
Because they remember that thing that you told them, because you always go to people for advice when it's not a good time.
Yes.
So they don't move on from the bad times, I guess. when you are trying to move on from the bad times. So as soon as anything flicks up, they're like, oh, remember that time they did this, and always bring back those that's from my experience. So yeah, I would say that.
Remind me of the question again.
What advice would you give them to have a healthy relationship?
When I'm thinking about, I'm trying to think of like her and Daniel. If I was to give them advice, what would it be? But I think like you're saying is every dynamic is different, right? And what other people like and want in relationships is so different, and what people's level of tolerance of specific behaviors are different. So I, like you, probably wouldn't offer advice because my tolerance level for not communicating is really low. Like if you don't, if somebody doesn't communicate with me, I struggle. Right? So if somebody came to me and asked me for advice around that, for my thing would be is they just need to talk to you. And if you're not talking to me, you're not serious. That, because my tolerance level is so low. Does that make sense? But that's me. That's my own thing. Where that person, that might not be an issue for them. So my advice could actually be steering them down more beef. Yeah. Than actually needs to be there. So I think you're right, is anything that we've gone through in our 26 years, we keep in-house. And I think people often say to me, and I know they mean it as a compliment, but I get really internally frustrated about it. They're like, oh, you're so lucky. Like if my friends have had issues in their relationships and stuff, they're like, oh, you're so lucky because you and Ahmed, or you're lucky because of what you got. And I'm like, it's not luck. We work to have what we have. It's not like we just stumbled upon it and then was like, oh, we don't have any issues. But the difference is we just keep our stuff to us and we work through it ourselves. There's been nothing that we've had that we haven't been able to work through. Yeah. Some things have been easier, some things have been harder, but we just work through it, right? Because we want it to work. And it was that analogy you used when we were going through something, where you were saying about the bowl that breaks. Yes. And then when people fix it. So I always think of that, that's how we treat our relationship. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose a long-winded way of us both saying we probably wouldn't give people advice. Yeah. Soz. We would listen. Yeah. We would listen, and the thing is with us, right, both of our background, without going off on a tangent, is youth and community, right? We've always done youth and community work. We've always done coaching, mentoring and supporting and that type of stuff. So we would probably use some of those skills I would just ask open questions and, well, why do you think? What do you think? Like those type of prompting. I wouldn't give my advice. It would be around asking those questions to help them explore what options they have, what avenues they have, so they come to the conclusion themselves, as opposed to you should do this, or you should try this, or you should do that. That's probably as far as I would go. Yeah. And then I'd pack my little lunchbox. And toodle off. I'd love to work.
Yeah. So we try to keep that at 14 minutes.
I'm sure we do.
Complete failure.
What are we on now?
26 minutes or something. Complete failure. As you can see, these questions are super awesome. We hope you're still with us at this point. We've got lots of things coming up. Somebody is launching a podcast, so make sure you go and check that out. Beyond the School Gates. It launches on the 31st of January 2022. So make sure you go check out Ruth on Beyond the School Gates on Instagram, and also on YouTube. So there's lots of things coming up. Thank you very much to Keeping Up With The Griffins for this heart-to-heart collaboration. It's been amazing to talk through these questions.
And to reflect, right? 26 years is a long time.
It's a long time. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video. Make sure you comment as well, because it helps us. YouTube will then decide, oh, people actually like watching this, and they would recommend more of our videos.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, so we should have said the podcast launched on blah 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 the 31st. So talk about it in the past tense, because by the time we're talking about the podcast is launching, which is coming, we should have said the podcast launched on the 31st. I get what you're saying.